Good morning once again, guys. We are going to continue today our discussion of triple bottom line, particularly under the introduction to financial management. Okay, Hazel, mamaya na lang ha. Remind me at the end of the class. Okay, so we said that in this module, we're going to uh, look at the role of finance, look at the different financial instruments, institutions, and markets. And then we're going to, at the end of the module, we're going to look at the flow of funds, okay? How funds flow from one institution to another, from one firm to another, okay? So that will wrap up our discussion on the financial system itself. After that, we're going to look at financial statements, analysis and interpretation, and after module 2, we'll have our first exams. Okay, so let me invite you once again to our PowerPoint slide. Okay, so last time, by way of quick review, we said that we tried to answer what the main objective of any business is. And we said the main objective of any business should not be profit maximization, neither cost minimization, nor customer satisfaction. And we said that these are very important objectives, but overall, guys, the main objective should be maximizing of shareholder value or maximization of stock price. Now, we looked at this based on several reasons, but let's just review first. When we said that customer satisfaction is indeed very important, there are many, many reasons why we should focus on the customers. And briefly, we said that a satisfied customer provides a company with profits and growth, stability. And these are very good measures of corporate performance. And how is this done? We said that satisfied customers would mean repeat customers. They would continue buying or patronizing the product, and they're less sensitive to price changes. Okay, so in the event, let's say, if there's a need for the company to increase its price, chances are loyal customers and satisfied customers will not immediately jump ship and go to the other supplier. Okay, they can be very loyal in crisis. If we have shown our customers very, very good service and very good product, then that could mean getting their loyalty. And one inherent advantage of this is that they can become free advertisers for the company. Word of mouth is very important in this age, in this time of social media. A good word and a bad word could mean a lot for a company. A bad word might have manifold effects on the company. A good word can also have tremendous impact on the company. We said that loyal customers we can sell other products that the company is providing, that we call that cross-selling. And in the event of new products being pushed or being promoted in the market, loyal customers could easily patronize those new products. Okay, and we said that we looked at this from 4 perspectives. Profit maximization, there are detrimental effects if the main objective is profit maximization in terms of planning duration. When we strictly adhere to profit maximization, chances are management might cut on discretionary expenditures. This might look good on the bottom line on the short term. Okay, for example, we cut back on training expense, we cut back on research, we cut back on advertising. This might result into less expenditures, less expenses, which has the effect of increasing profitability. However, the effect of which could only might be short term only in terms of profitability. The impact could be very, very let's say the proper term, disastrous for the company, especially in the long term. Okay, because some of these could be considered expenses, but they are actually investments investing in your people, investing in new equipment. They are very important because the effect of them, of these investments, quote unquote, could be felt in the near future, in the future. Okay, so not only in terms of planning duration, but also in terms of risk management. We said that a very important function of finance is to manage the resources, to hedge it against many potential risks. A business will always be subjected to different types of risks. You have economic risk, you have business risk, you have marketing risk, the risk that the potential customers would not patronize the product. Then you have interest rate risk, the risk that a firm that has borrowings on the long term, they could see that the interest rates go up, and that could have the effect on the financial standing, financial position of the company. Okay, so not only that, for importers, there could be foreign currency risk, the fluctuation of the exchange rate between, for example, the dollar and the peso could have a very big effect on the company. So it's important that finance play a very critical role as far as hedging the company against these potential risks. And when the focus is only on profit maximization, management might be tempted to do away with this moves, with these policies that will hedge the company against risks, because they entail expenses also. Okay, so not only risk management, but also pricing strategy. Okay, we said that if the focus is merely on profit maximization, there might be a tendency to really optimize profit by really jacking up the price with no regard at all whatsoever for market share. For wealth maximization, the long-term goal, of course, is to maximize shareholder value, and this can be attained by even by lowering a bit, positioning the product price even lower than the direct competitor, the top competitor, because the objective is to corner more market share for the company. Okay, and lastly, we have capacity planning. If a company focuses only on profitability, short-term profitability, then chances are they might not engage in investing in long-term assets, improving the equipment. For example, let's say based on the research, they found out that there might be a demand for this particular service or product in the future. So if the focus is more on increasing shareholder value, a company might consider investing in capital assets like that, which might be a far-fetched idea as far as companies that really just focus on profit maximization is concerned. Okay, so I hope, guys, that it's clear that shareholder value maximization is very important. Now, in terms of shareholder value maximization, there is now an extended focus. They say that it should not only be shareholder value maximization, it should also be what we call stakeholder value maximization. Hence, the concept of the triple bottom line. In triple bottom line yan, ibig sabihin ng 3 P's or 3 E's, no? That's profit, people, and planet. So hindi lang dapat ang focus on the profitability of the firm. A firm should also make one of its objectives the people that it affects. No? People can be the employees, people can be their customers, people can be the community where the company is situated in. And when we talk of planet, we're talking of externalities. No? We're talking of the environment in general. Okay? Kasi ang isang company, pwede niyang masira yung environment. There were before, guys, na hindi pa conscious yung mga companies sa ganyang klaseng sa environmental degradation. So you'll find companies that just throw out their wastewater sa mga bodies of water na napopollute yung mga rivers, no? Which affect the daily living of fishermen, of fisherfolk, of other people that depend on bodies of water for their sustenance, for their living. Mahirap yung ganun na sinisira ng mga companies by, for example, the use of chemicals. Okay, I saw in YouTube, for example, the case of in Indonesia. There's this. I just forget the name of the river, but it's one of the most polluted river in the world, and there are several companies there along the river, and they just dump their wastewater containing chemicals that come from the processes in the company. So nowadays that can be very very difficult to do kasi talagang may mga strict laws na ngayon on environmental concerns, and we are happy with that. No? I'm sure you share this sentiment with me that we're happy with when companies take social responsibility to be part of their core core goal to take care of the environment. Kaya nga ako personally, masaya ako na the DENR took the major role in pivotal role in, for example, yung Manila Bay cleanup. No? Although may sinasabi silang yung sa Dolomite, pero personally, I think I prefer this situation better now than before. Kasi dati I would bike there sa Manila Bay, tapos I would walk there. You see people just lying around, tapos ang dumi-dumi ng parang is this the best we can do for our country? And I'm so happy that the Supreme Court really issued a mandamus na citing yung mga several government agencies and local governments to clean up the Manila Bay because all of us have responsibilities for that. No? So that's very important, guys. Hindi na lang ang focus ngayon shareholder value maximization, but also looking at the role of the firm, role of the company in taking care of the triple bottom line, yung 3 P's or 3 E's. Yung 3E, pareho lang yan dun sa 3 P's, economy, employee, and ecology or the environment. Okay? So before we proceed, before we continue taking a look at this rep track, let me open this. Okay, so guys, hindi ko pa masyadong kabisado tong whiteboard na to eh. Okay, let me just increase this a bit. So I'll just write here. I noticed kasi guys, pag nagsusulat ako sa PowerPoint, tapos sinasave ko na siya as PDF file, nawawala yung sinulat natin. That's why when I posted the PowerPoint slides dun sa canvas natin, hindi na save yung mga sinusulat ko. So I told myself, might as well make use of the whiteboard na lang so that I can share this with you. Kung ano man ang sinulat natin dito, I'll be able to share this with you. Dali lang So add note in the, saan ba yun? Insert menu. Wait. Okay, wait. Sige. Anyway, can you see guys the screen? Kita naman yung screen, ano?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, before we, let's just elaborate further yung triple bottom line kasi importante sa atin yan. Hindi lang ito guys, hindi lang to parang napaka-theoretical na concept. We as ordinary citizens, we should also play a role in taking care of our country, no? Lalo na yung sa environmental concern, yung mga simpleng pagtatapon lang sa labas, kahit yung reduce, reuse, recycle, importante din yun. You as citizens of your family sa mga bahay nyo, we should take a major role as far as taking care, kunyari yung garbage, mga simpleng bagay na makakatulong sa overall sa natin, sa pangkalahatang sa pangkalahatang environment natin. Okay, so let's talk further about yung triple bottom line. So we have this, sandali. Nakalaso siya. You have this firm, no? Okay, kunyari itong company na to. Now, a company does not operate in a vacuum. Hindi nasa vacuum yan. Ang isang company, guys, there are several players, there are several institutions that look at the well-being of the company. Gusto ng mga players na to, gusto ng mga institutions na to or other firms that a company be successful. So tinitingnan nila yung well-being ng company na to, no? So can you think of players, can you think of stakeholders, no? Or other institutions that are interested in the well-being of a firm? Anyone? Unmute na lang.
Sir, can you repeat the question po?
So si Mika ba to?
Hindi po sir, si Basti sa dito po.
Sige, Basti, ang tanong ko, can you cite an example of other firms, of institutions that are interested in the well-being of the organization, of the business entity? May mga may mga masasabi tayo na na mga institutions or firms, companies that are interested for the business, the company that we're considering to succeed.
Sir?
Yes?
Guess lang po.
Sige, sure. Sino to? Paki-identify. Mika, sige, Mika.
Would it be like the suppliers of the
Yes,
firm?
of course. Okay, so lahat natin dito, suppliers, ha? So suppliers, guys, they are very much interested in the well-being of the organization. Could you elaborate, Mika, bakit? No? Why do you say that suppliers are very much interested in the well-being of the organization?
So the suppliers are the ones who provide the materials or like the needs of the company, and like if the firm is successful, then the suppliers will have like a sure source of income. Like
yes, yeah, well said. Thank you, Mika.
Yeah.
And kasi, yeah, sige. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, okay na po.
Okay na? Mika, thank you so much. That's well said, no? Well said.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Sino to?
This is Hans.
Sino? Sorry? Hans. Are you still going to talk about suppliers, Hans?
No, sir. I was thinking of shareholders.
Okay, sige. Hans, let me go back to you. So let's first, let me elaborate first on suppliers. And then after this, I discuss the suppliers, I'll call you, no? Kasi tama ka, no? Sulat na lang din natin dito yun. So before I write in shareholders, let me write, guys, na dalawang klaseng investors, di ba? Dalawang klaseng investors. Sino yung dalawang klaseng investors? Generally, no? Kasi remember that resources owned by the company, yung assets nila, it's provided by either this one, yung basic accounting equation, di ba? Yung sinasabi ni Hans, it's the shareholders. Ilalagay natin dito shareholders. Okay, so I'll request Hans to elaborate kung bakit yung mga shareholders keen sila to see the firm succeed. Sino pa isa, guys? Sino pa isang investor? Shareholder. Tapos sino pa isa? Equity yun, di ba? Sino naman to?
Sir, is it stakeholder?
Stakeholder is quite general, no? Yung liability side, how do we call them? Yung nag-i-infuse ng utang sa company para makakuha ng assets yung company. We call
lender
them letter C, ano?
Lender.
Lender or correct, lender or
Contributor
or the more technical term is
Creditors.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Yung ba yung sinasabi mo? Okay. Sige, babalikan natin tong shareholders at saka creditors. So balikan natin si Hans mamaya, shareholders, and then I'll ask another one to explain naman yung creditors. But let me first discuss yung suppliers kasi importante ito, no? Sinabi ni Mika, yung suppliers. This is very important. Now, in the 1980s, 70s, 80s, may isang concept na naging kilalang-kilala. which actually led to the success of a very famous company. Kilala niyo yung company na to. Nakikita niyo araw-araw yan. Ginagamit niyo nga yan siguro. Most probably, ginagamit niyo yung product ng company na to. No? So that concept was called TQM. Sige nga, pakitingnan niyo nga guys. Most probably, first time yung narinig yung TQM. Ano? So I'd like you to check, i-google nyo kung ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng TQM na to. Okay, so may nag-chat.
Total Quality Management.
Yes, thank you.
Total Quality Management, sir.
Yeah, thank you. You're correct. Both of you are correct. It's called Total Quality Management, no? So, sino yung una nagsabi ng TQM? Who was that?
Si Mika po.
Mika, ikaw pa rin. Sige, Mika. I'll give a chance to the other one, ha? Sino nagsabi pa ng TQM?
Ako po, sir, Basti sa Twitter.
Basti. Sige, Basti, ano nabasa mo? What's Total Quality Management? Can you... Sige, tingnan mo lang kung kahit yung brief ano lang. Kung ano ba tong TQM na to? What does that mean?
According to the one I searched po, sir, it
says
it's consists of organization-wide efforts to quote-unquote install and make permanent climate where employees continuously improve their ability to provide on-demand products and services that customers will find of particular value.
Yeah, ang ganda, di ba? Ang operative word dun, guys, continuous improvement, di ba? So let's write that, continuous improvement. Ito guys yung sabihin natin let's say operative word, yung pinaka main sorry for the spelling, continuous improvement, no? Okay? Yan ibig sabihin ng continuous improvement. Ang sinasabi niyan na company should not stop resting on its laurels. Yung mga prior successes nila, tapos na yun. No? They should continue looking at how they can improve their operations, they can improve the product, they can improve customer satisfaction. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng Kaizen. In fact, galing nga sa isang Japanese word, no? Ibig sabihin, Kaizen. Kaizen. Okay. Kai, good, change. No? Kaizen, continuous improvement, good change. TQM. Okay, and of all the many companies that adopted TQM, there was one company that really spearheaded this. Nagsimula tong TQM na concept na to from a person named Deming. Tapos hindi na masyadong nabenta yung idea na to sa US. So he went to Japan. Tapos pinopagate na sa Japan to, nagkaroon ng malaking following sa Japan. And guess what, guys? Anong company yung talagang sabihin natin sumunod, no? Talagang they religiously followed yung concept ng TQM. Would you know, guys? Ano nababasa niyo sa TQM? Sinong company ang sabihin natin talagang unang-una na they practice this faithfully? You know this company. Kilalang-kilala tong company na to. Japanese company. I'm sure nakagamit na kayo. One way or another, guys. Nakagamit na kayo ng produkto nitong company na to. Some of you maybe daily. Some of you siguro hindi naman daily, pero I'm sure naka-ano na kayo. Nakagamit na kayo nito. Anyone, guys? It starts with the letter T.
Sir, is it Toyota?
Yes, thank you. Sino to?
Mark po.
Mark, thank you. Tama, Toyota, guys. Si Toyota. Alam naman natin, guys, you know that Toyota is an automobile manufacturer, di ba? Nasa car manufacturing sila. Now, at that time, 70s, 80s, ang pinakakalaban nila sa US, si General Motors, si GM, si Chrysler, okay? Si Chrysler, si Ford, okay? Ito yung mga top auto manufacturers ng US. And most of their manufacturing was in Detroit, Michigan. So Toyota was unheard yan, no? Hindi naman magaling na company yan. But when Toyota began practicing this TQM, this total quality management, things changed, no? Nag-iba yung mga processes nila. For example, itong si GM, si Chrysler, si Ford, ang pinapractice yan JIC. It is si Toyota, JIT. Okay nga, sige nga guys, tingnan nyo kung ano kung ano yung difference ng JIC versus JIT. Okay, so we're learning. Sorry?
Just in time.
Yes, tama. Just in time. Ano yung JIC? Ha?
Sorry, hinula ko lang po. So I
Ang
actually
galing.
heard about what was just in time policy.
Oh, yeah. Tama yun. Just in time. Ano yung JIC?
Hindi ko po alam.
Sige. Any guess?
Sir, just in case po.
Yeah, correct.
Case,
Just
sir.
in case, no? Just in case versus just in time. Okay. Parang isang letter lang yung difference nila, di ba? But that's a world of difference, guys, sa philosophy. For example, GM, Chrysler, Ford, anong common sa kanila? They maintain huge, big warehouses. So, andyan dyan yung mga raw materials sila, okay? Andyan, malaki yan, no? So, ano yung mga cost yan? In order to maintain, guys, a huge warehouse, napaka-costly yan. Siyempre, unang-una, andyan yung ordering cost, no? Carrying cost, okay? Of course, yung inventory cost, iba pang inventory cost. Siyempre, andyan yung structure, no? Yung pallets, yung building mismo, yung mga, ang tawag dito sa mga, yung mga maliliit na trucks, anong tawag doon? Na ginagamit para i-transfer yung mga pallets from one place to another. Okay, so it's at the tip of my tongue. Anyway, yun ang ginagamit nila, no? Mahal din yun, guys, no? Hindi lang isang ganun ang binibili. Siyempre, siguro hundreds kasi ang laki-laki ng warehouse nila. But Toyota did things differently. Hindi sila naniniwala. Because of TQM, they invented this JIT. Ano JIT? So under JIT, ang ginawa nila, they partner with their suppliers, no? They partner with the suppliers and encourage the suppliers to locate near them. So ang lalapit ng mga suppliers nila so that Toyota was able to do away with warehousing. Kung meron man, napakaliit, guys. Okay? Anong ginawa ni Toyota? So they encourage the suppliers to locate near them so that they'll be able to practice JIT. Okay, ano naman yung JIT, guys? Just in time. So kunyari, kailangan ng Toyota na, let's say, 1 million parts ng part na to. So hindi sila pupunta sa warehouse. They will coordinate with their supplier to deliver yung 1 million parts na yon to Toyota, to their plant, no? Okay? So of course, ito, guys, it was years in the making. No? Kasi ang system na to, ang philosophy behind this is what we call the push system. Pull system. Ito kasi sa American, ito yung push system. Ano yung push system? So ang ginagawa ni GM, ni Chrysler, ni Ford, tinutulak yung mga suppliers, o bahala ka dyan, mag-away kayo dyan. Sino yung pinaka-best price, yun ang kukunin namin. Okay? So let the suppliers fight it out with each other, survival of the fittest. Si Toyota is more of the pull system, relationship management. So they were able to partner with some suppliers, and then inano nila na mag-relocate dun sa malapit sa kanila, so that Toyota wala nang need for a warehouse. Minimal na lang kung meron man, no? And then what happened was talagang partnership. Pool system, pag may may challenges kayo, we pull you, no? Tulungan. So that was the main concept. Tulungan yung suppliers at saka si Toyota. And the rest is history, guys. Alam natin na Toyota was able to price its car way below yung cars ni GM, Chrysler, and Ford. And that led them to be able to penetrate the American market. Mas maganda yung product, mas walang mga defects. Imagine, sa isang car ng GM, Chrysler, Ford, minsan on the average makakakita ng 200 to 300 defects. Sa Toyota, halos zero defect. Zero defect, guys. Kasi that's the concept behind TQM. Really cut down yung defects. Zero defects, yun ang mantra nila. No? Okay, so dito din pumasok yung concepts ng Six Sigma. I don't know if you have heard of Six Sigma, but this was developed by Motorola, but it was coming from the TQM, Six Sigma. No? So siguro it might be good for you to look at this. What's Six Sigma? No? So we don't have time to discuss that, but it would be good also to look at that. And one last guys, pumasok dito yung yung tinatawag ng 5S. So hanapin nyo nga guys kung ano ibig sabihin ng 5S. May Japanese version, ang original niyan Japanese version. Tapos translate na lang into an American version. Ngayon ginagamit na to guys ng maraming firms, itong 5S. So what was the 5S system all about?
Sir, is that yung pang-organize?
Yes, correct. So pakisabi nga, pakichat ko ano yung 5S na Japanese words.
I'll search it.
Sige, ayan. Yeah, correct. It's a part of organization, no?
It says sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain.
Okay. Tama. Sino to, guys? Sorry.
Mark po.
Mark, ayan, inano na ni Hans, no? Pero hanapin niyo yung Japanese version. Thank you, Hans. Thank you, Mark. Ayan, inano niya ni Mika, no? Seiri, Seiton, Seiso, Seiketsu, Shitsuke, no? Ito yung Japanese version. Okay? Tapos, to summarize this, kasi 5 yan, no? Iso-sort daw, is-set in order, shine, standardize, sustain. Okay? Ang to summarize that, okay, a place for everything. Sorry for my handwriting, guys. Ang hirap ng digital plan. A place for everything and everything in its place. Okay? So years ago, guys, no? When I did a special advanced management course sa AIM, pinag-aralan namin to, no? Yung 5S na to. Pag-aralan namin, guys, yung factory ng Toyota. No? Saan ka makakita ng factory na gumagamit ng oil na pwede ka mag-roll over dun sa floor? When you think of a workplace, guys, na gumagamit ng oil, chances are makikita mo na ang dumi-dumi ng floor, di ba? And ang dumi-dumi ng gamit, ng mga kamay, kasi you're dealing with oil. Not with Toyota, guys, because of the 5S quality, guys. Grabe, pwede ka mahiga dun sa floor. Kung saan, guys, ginagawa yung car, for example, kasi they had a way of a place for everything and everything in its place. So, unlike yung mga ibang companies na, kunyari, kailangan ko yung tool na to, hahanap saan ko na ba nalagay na to. Dun sa 5S, sa wall, makikita mo yung drawing ng tool. Okay, so pag tinanggal mo yan, ando dun yung shape ng tool, makikita mo kung saan mo dapat ibalik. So kung wala dun, ibig sabihin, hindi mo pa nababalik dun yung tool na yon. Okay, so it's a very, very good help in order to sort and set in order. Shine is the cleanliness, standardize, and to sustain yung operations ng business. Okay, it is said that a clean work environment leads to better efficiency. So na-develop din yan, no? Yung tong 5S na to. Kaya nga ang ganda, guys, so that was meant, kaya nga in-explain ko tong suppliers na to, just to inform everyone na meron pala mga ganitong manufacturing or operations concepts, no? So yung importance ng suppliers in relation to the firm, na suppliers should not be treated as parang externalities. In fact, ang pinaka-philosophy dyan ng Toyota was to really treat suppliers as parang part of the organization na rin. Okay? So, those concepts, sinare ko lang with you, no? So, if you're really interested in knowing more about them, watch kayo ng videos about yung Toyota, guys. Yung TQM ng Toyota. And makikita nyo yung workplace nila. Ang ganda, guys, ang ganda. Alright, then let's go to, sabi natin, si Hans ba to, nagsabi ng shareholders. Hans, could you tell us why shareholders are keen in seeing the firm to succeed?
I believe shareholders look for if the business will be able to gain enough profit, if they would grow. Because if the business grows as a whole, shareholders gain profit as well.
Yeah, very well said. Diba? Tama, kung shareholder ka, syempre, kung nag-invest ka kunyari sa San Miguel, no? Gusto mo bang bumagsak ang San Miguel? Hindi. Kasi may stake ka dun, di ba? May pera kang pinasok doon. You're part of the corporation. Okay? Di ba? Unlike guys, ang liability, pag creditors, iba. Pag shareholders, part owner ka, pag creditor ka, nagpautang ka lang dun sa negosyo, di ba? So, Hans mentioned something about profit. Okay, let's discuss that. Let's be more specific. Ano bang profit ang makukuha ng shareholder sa isang business? What profit will they be able to get if they're shareholders?
They could have an increase in stock value.
Okay, that's correct. No? Ilalagay ko dito, increase in stock value, or I'll call it CA. And the other one, ano pa? Ito more long-term. Yung isa, guys, more short-term. Ano kaya to? Ano yung motivation ng shareholders? Bakit sila nag-i-invest dun sa firm na yun? Because of this. Ano tong D na to? Anyone, guys? Kunyari, nag-invest ka sa Meralco. Sa Meralco, guys, I think quarterly. Ang familiar ako sa San Miguel kasi yun ang share ko. No? Si San Miguel, guys, nagbibigay ng itong D na to every, I think, quarterly. No? Si Jollibee din, ganun.
Debs, sir?
What's that? Sorry?
Is it from Debs?
Debts? D-E-B-E.
Yes, sir.
Utang?
Yes. Is it from that?
Hindi eh. But thank you for the answer, no? But it's not from debts. Ano to? Regular na binibigay ng mga companies, especially mga blue chip companies. Okay, may discount, okay? Musha. Try another, ano? Ano pa kaya? Ano pa kaya? Yes. Ayan. Mika, correct. At saka Eva, correct. Thank you. So the answer is dividends, guys. Di ba? Lalo yung mga blue chips, nagbibigay sila ng mga dividends. And dividends can come in the form of cash dividends or stock dividends. Usually, ang binibigay, cash dividends. Ang isang company na nagbibigay ng dividends, it's a clear signal na that company is operating well. It can be a very good signal, indicator that this company has enough cash in order to distribute to the owners of the business. Okay. Aside from dividends, guys, more importantly, itong CA na to. Okay. Although nasabi ni Hans kanina na stock value, but let's call it this one. What happens, guys, when the stock price of the company increases over time? There's a special name for that. The first letter is capital. Capital what? Kunyari, nag-invest ka 20 pesos. Tapos after some years, you just hang on to your investment, pang long term yun.
Capital asset, sir.
Capital asset, okay. May mas appropriate term.
Sir, capital gains.
Capital gains, pwede rin, pero I use letter A, no? But it's also capital gains, no? Yeah, tama si Basti. Ayan, tama si Mika, si Basti, tama, no? We call it capital appreciation, no? Kasi tumaas na yung value ng stock natin. So it's called capital appreciation or tama, capital gains din, no? Okay, or increase in stock value, yung sinabi ni Hans kanina. Okay, so that's a motivation, di ba? Kaya nga guys, for example, in your case, later on, pwede na kayo mag-invest sa online stocks, no? Kasi I think it's a function of age din. Kung wala pa kayo dun sa age niya, pero pag-aralan nyo na. And tingnan nyo, mag-invest kayo, kahit konti lang naman guys, no? I'm sure may konting savings kayo dyan. Instead of just putting that in the bank, na hindi nyo naman gagamitin, might as well put it in a blue chip. Pag sinabing blue chip, these are well-established companies. No? Example, Globe. Example, Jollibee. Example, San Miguel. Maybe some banks. No? These are companies that have good track records of performance. So mas maganda, instead of just putting your money there in the bank, pwede mong i-invest yan sa stocks. Kasi ang mga companies naman guys, they're built there to last. ginagawa naman yan, ini-establish yan, and management will really take really the initiative to make sure that the business continues to be in existence. Okay, so thank you for your shares, guys. Thank you, Hans, for sharing this shareholders, and thank you for those who also answered. No, now let's go to creditors. Yung creditors naman, guys, bakit kaya nagpapautang yung mga financing institutions? What do they stand to get there? Hindi naman yung magpapautang na wala silang makukuha, no? May makukuha din sila. Kung ang shareholders, they will get dividends and capital appreciation. Ang creditors, guys, they will get
Interest po?
Yeah, thank you, Ada, no? Si Ada ba yung sumagot ngayon?
Hindi
Sa
po.
chat po.
Sa chat, thank you. Ada, sino yung sumagot? I'd like just to acknowledge.
Opo. Kailu po. Kailu po.
Kailu.
Yes po.
Okay, Kailu, thank you. You're correct, no? Interest. Tama yung interest, guys. So, ito yung magpo-profit din dapat yung mga creditors. Just like shareholders, they would want to profit also. Isa lang naman yung objective din, di ba? To gain profit. So, sa mga creditors naman, they gain profit through interest, and also, of course, dapat, ano pa makuha nila? Not only the interest, but also, what do you think, guys? Okay, let's see, may answer dito. Yung payment. Okay, correct, no? Ada, yung payment. Pero anong tawag natin doon? May term doon, no? You call it letter P. Pasensya na, guys, sana hindi magulo yung illustration natin. Ano yung P, guys?
Profit ba, sir?
Profit. Hindi. It's not called profit, no? But thank you for that answer. May isang special name na tawag doon. Okay, i-illustrate ko. Kunyari, hiram tayo sa BDO. Yung firm natin humiram ng, let's say, 10 million. Tapos payable in 10 years. No? At, let's say, 10% interest, kunyari na lang. No? Annual yung agreement. So, every year, year 1, year 2, year 3, hanggang year 10, magbabayad tayo ng 10% ng 10 million, so that's 1M, no? Bayad tayo ng interest every year, 1M. Pagdating ng 10th year, guys, babayaran pa rin natin yung 1M, and also what? Babayaran natin yung 10 million na hiniram, di ba? Okay, and it's called, thank you, Basti, but it's not called periodic, it's called principal. Thank you, Eva. No? Ang tawag dyan, principal. Yung amount na hiniram natin. Okay, we call it principal. So, the creditors would want the company to be, of course, to be healthy and robust. Kasi kung hindi healthy yan, paano makakapag-pay ng interest yan and ultimately the principal. Okay, pag nagdi-default na yung company, hindi na nakakabayad kunyari ng ito. At the end of the first year, dapat magbayad ng 1 million. Una, nakabayad. Pero second year, medyo hindi na nakabayad. Okay, so delikado na yun. Ibig sabihin, baka nag-i-close yung firm. And the creditors would not want that. Kasi gusto nila na profitable yung firm, okay, for them to be able to pay the interest payments and the principal payment at the end of the period. Okay? All right, so we have so far looked at suppliers, shareholders, creditors. Sino pa ba yung mga parties, guys, na ano? Sino pa ba yung parties na importante sa kanila? Yes, Mika? Nag-raise ng hand si Mika. Sandali Okay.
The employees po.
Okay. Okay, employees, Mika. And then Ada, I'll go to you, customers, correct na? So sabi ni Mika, employees. Okay, bakit Mika? Bakit employees? Bakit yung mga employees keen sila na maging successful yung yung firm?
These types of people po, they rely on the firms for a source of income.
Yeah, of course. They're reliant on the firm for their hanap buhay, di ba? For their income. Ang ganda ng word na hanap buhay, di ba? Pag naghanap buhay, nagtatrabaho, guys, in this case, sa firm, Okay, sustenance ng buhay nila. Okay, for some families, mag-isa lang minsan nagtatrabaho, napaka-critical. Pag mawala sa trabaho yung let's say yung pinaka breadwinner, kawawa yung family na yun. So para sa iba, napaka-critical ng ng firm na to. Kasi yun yung nagbibigay ng pagkain sa table nila. Yun nagpo-provide na makaaral yung mga anak. So, these things are very important. So employees would want the companies to succeed, no? Okay? So, however guys, may babanggitin lang ako about employees. May issue din tayo dito about employees, kasi years before, nung 1600s, 1700s, nagsimula yung concept ng hindi naman formally nagsimula yung concept ng business, pero during that time, businesses were more entrepreneurial. So may isang may-ari, kaya yung family niya, nagbe-business sila, tapos they manage the business themselves, kasi maliit lang naman. Over time, yung business na sole proprietorship, naging partnership, tapos na-invento yung concept ng corporation. Na-separate ngayon yung may-ari dun sa firm itself. So also, because of the Industrial Revolution, anong nangyari? Na-invento yung machine, so bumilis yung production process. Na-invento yung electricity, bumilis yung production process. So ngayon, yung mga businesses na corporation, lumaki ng lumaki, hanggang hindi na pwede na yung mga owners, whether it's a family or by virtue of a corporation, hindi na nila kaya na sila mismo magmamanage. So pasok yung tinatawag nating professional managers. Yung mga professional managers, sila yung hinahire ng business para to manage the business. Okay. Over time, guys, lalo naging na-cement yung role ng professional managers and then enter yung 1970s, 1980s, mas lalong nagkaroon na ng mga business schools, nagkaroon ng MBA, no? So lalong na-develop yung professional management. Kasabay sa pag-develop ng professional management, guys, yung concept ng nagkaroon ng problem. Ano yung problem na to? So the problem is the A problem. Okay, let me first explain what the A problem is para medyo mahulaan nyo kung ano tong A problem na to. Ano yung A problem? So ngayon, since ang ma-manage ng mga firms, mga corporations, mga huge corporations, hindi na yung mga shareholders. Or kung nagmamanage man sila, konti na lang sila. No? Kasi nasa professional managers na yung pagmamanage ng firm. Ang problema ngayon, yung mga professional managers, sometimes they might act or they may do things that might be inimical to the organization. Yung nakakasira ng organization. Case in point, 70s, 80s, dyan na uso yung mga CEOs. Tapos yung mga CEOs, kahit na lugi yung company, gumagawa sila ng bonus para sa kanila. Di ba? Kung iisipin nyo guys how immoral, no? Immoral in the sense that as a CEO, hindi mo nga pinagana yung company, hindi mo nga turn around yung hindi mo nga pina-profit ng malaki. Tapos you have the nerve to get a big chunk of bonus kahit na hindi kumikita yung organization. Nagkaroon ng ganung mga problema, guys, no? And what do you call that problem? Anyone? May term doon, no? Yung A na yan, guys, it's supposed to mean that it's a person who acts on behalf of another person. So ganun na naging business setup. Professional managers would act on behalf of the shareholders. Okay? Kasi wala yung mga shareholders doon. Lalo na, kunyari, ang maraming shareholders yung isang business, 300, kunyari. Hindi naman sila lahat pwede mag-manage. So kaya nga, may hinahire ng professional managers. Tapos yung mga professional managers, gagawa sila ng mga bagay-bagay na ikakabuti nila pero ikakasama ng company. Yun ang problema. Okay. So would you know what is this A, guys? I'll give you another clue. The next letter is letter G. Yan. Siguro makuhulaan nyo na yan. Yes, tingnan nyo. Sinabi ko lang yung G, may nakahula na. No? Tingnan natin, ha? Okay, thank you, Mika. You're correct. No? It's called the agency problem. Yun. Yun yung naging problema, guys. That became a very, very huge problem for firms. yung mga professional managers ngayon, they should be agents, no? Mga agents sila eh. So ito ang tawag natin dito, sorry. This is called agency problem. Professional managers are supposed to be agents for the company. Pag agent ka guys, ano ka dapat? Pag agent ka, you should act on behalf of your, ang tawag dun sa mga shareholders, principal, no? So, ang tawag dyan, agency and principal relationship yan. Principal ang tawag. Okay? In this case, yung principal natin, yung mga shareholders, yung mga agents natin, yung mga professional managers. So, there came a time na sa mga agents, yung mga professional managers, hala, kung ano nung pinagagawa nila, which was detrimental to the firm, but beneficial to them. Yun ang naging problema. So, nagkaroon ng ethical issue dito, yung agency problem na to. So ngayon, dyan na pumapasok ngayon guys yung concept ng governance. No? Kaya nga dati yung mga board of directors para sa isang firm, usually mga rubber stamp lang din yan. No? Parang by law kasi kailangan yon. So inaano lang kumbaga parang minsan ang mga board of directors kung sino-sino lang eh. Ang nagko-control niyan yung CEO. No? So hindi talaga nagiging ano yan para sa mga hindi nagiging maganda para sa mga other shareholders, no? Okay? In fact, there's another term for that, yung fiduciary relationship. Okay? So take note of this term, fiduciary. It's similar to the principal-agent relationship. So yung mga professional managers, they have a what we call fiduciary relationship in relation to the shareholders. So they're there as agents, they're there to take care of the interests of the shareholders. Pero hindi nagiging ganun, guys. So thus we have this agency principal, no? Principal problem, agency problem. So over time, guys, syempre nag-iisip yung mga how do we now protect the interests of the shareholders? Okay? So sa US, may isang book nga, guys, you might want to look at that. Dirty, rotten CEOs. Imagine, okay, may isang book na ang tawag, Dirty, Rotten CEOs. Ayan. Book yan, guys, ha? I did that as a required reading for my college students before, pero hindi ko gagawin sa inyan. But you might be interested in at least looking at the summary of this. Ano tong Dirty, Rotten CEOs na to? I think if I recall it right, Flanagan yata yung author. But it's all about yung agency problem. Yung mga CEOs doing things that are self-serving, no, para sa kanila. And then bahala na yung mga shareholders. So over time, guys, nagkaroon ng mga development. What do you think, guys? What could be a strategy para medyo ma-control to o medyo ma-minimize if not totally eliminate yung mga ganitong agency problem na to? Can you suggest one, guys? What do you think? Paano kaya ma-minimize to? I hope you realize the problem here, no? Yung problem with the employees, particularly not necessarily the rank and file. Yung rank and file meron din kasi kunyari kung yung wastage, hindi sila maingat sa paggawa ng paggamit ng mga kunyari raw materials kaya marami nasasayang kasi careless lang. Di ba alin na, hindi naman sa pera namin to eh. Parang ganung attitude, no? So, what could you recommend, guys? Ano kaya ang possible na solution para medyo mabawasan to, if not totally eliminate yung agency problem na to? Anyone? Suggestion, guys? Kunyari, kayo yung SEC, no? Securities and Exchange, okay? Governance, thank you, Mika. But specifically what? Kasi medyo incentives si Ava, sabi naman ni Ava, incentives, okay? Okay, governance, okay. Pwede din to, no? Incentives, transparency, okay. These are very good words. Kaso, para mahirap siya i-operationalize. What in the form of transparency? Okay, smooth workflow, okay. So these are suggestions that may or may not work. Okay, incentives can work. Pero anong klase incentive kaya? Pwede rin sigurong higher salary. Okay? Sabi ni Eva, incentives, it can come in the form of, kung higher salary kaya, or sabihin natin equitable na salary, you think this can reduce yung agency problem? What do you think, guys? Pa-yes nga o ano? You think equitable salary can help in mitigating against the agency problem? Pa-chat nga, guys, kung yes or no. What do you think? Everyone, guys? Kunyari, itaas natin yung salary. Kunyari, hindi equitable yung compensation ng mga empleyado. Kaya nag-iisip sila ng paano sila makakaganti o paano sila makakakupit. Kunyari, ganyan. You think an equitable compensation scheme will work? Yes or no lang, guys, sa chat? Okay, sabi ni Mika, it depends. Okay. Sige, bakit it depends, Mika?
Sir, I think this occurs po, like they in some countries po, they purposely make the salaries of government like wait, I don't know how to explain. People in the government, in some countries po, they purposely make the salaries high to reduce corruption.
Yeah, pwede yun.
And
So,
then
pwede makatulong yun, di ba? Oo.
And then I just searched it now po, and then it says higher government wages only reduce corruption in low-income countries. So I think po it really depends on the type of people.
Yeah, okay. You're correct, no? You're correct. So, yung mga sinasabi nyo, guys, yung smooth workflow, communication, maybe to a certain degree, it might lessen yung transparency, governance. But I'm thinking of a very specific example, no? So, ito ginamit to. Many companies use this. Pakitingnan nga, guys, kung ano tong ESOP na to. What's ESOP? This really reduced, no? Nakatulong to ng malaki sa agency problem. Okay, could you kindly check kung ano ba yung ESOP na yan?
Hello.
Yes?
Hello, sir.
Yes?
My audio okay?
Yeah.
Is it employee stock ownership plan?
Yes, thank you. Sino to?
Si Basti sa Twitter po.
Basti, okay. Basti, could you elaborate further? You're correct. That's the employee stock ownership plan. Bakit kaya makakatulong yan sa agency problem?
I think it's like it's a way to benefit both the employee himself and the ownership mismo. Okay. I mean like the company mismo. Because like it provides like interest on both sides. Okay. So, yeah, tama si Basti, ano? And thank you, sino din nagsabi? Si Eva, thank you also. You're correct. It's Mika pala. Employee stock option or ownership programs. So, why is this effective? Kasi guys, kung yung employees nyo are part owners of the firm, hindi ba magdadalawang isip muna yan bago nila sirain yung company? Diba? It's a very practical way to reduce agency problem. Kasi kung may-ari ka ng negosyo, gusto mo yung negosyo mag-succeed. So you will not cut corners, you will not do things that will really lower the shareholder value. Kasi pag bumaba yung shareholder value niyan, affected ka rin yan kasi may stake ka dun sa company na yun. So that's one way of doing the ESOP, no? Yung employee stock ownership or option plan. So how this is done is for some companies, they offer stock ownership to employees who have been employed for already, let's say, yung iba 3 years, pwede ka na mag-ESOP, no? Sabi ni Kristen, they are more likely to be encouraged. So, yes, tama yon. Sabi ni Kristen, paki-chat mo dun to everyone para makita ng
Okay, thank you, Kristen. So may motivation yan. They likely be encouraged to continue working. Not only continue working well. No? Yun ang operative word doon. Continue working well. They'll do their best in order to really improve the business. Kasi owner sila doon eh. May stake sila doon. Okay, so this is one way by which medyo na-minimize yung agency problem, no? Another way is yung governance. May nagsabi sa inyo, I think it was Basti. Si Basti ba yung nagsabi ng governance? Or who was that? Let's see. Transparency. Okay, si Mark. Thank you, Mark. And transparency pala to. May nagsabi bang governance? Si Mika, no? Yung sa governance naman, guys, kaya nga ngayon, dati, usually yung board of directors, parang rubber stamp lang yan, in paper lang yan. Ngayon, yung mga board of directors, guys, may ruling na ang SEC dito. Kailangan may mga independent na board of directors. Ano yung independent board of directors? Ibig sabihin nun, dapat wala silang kinalaman dun sa company. Okay? Required na ng SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission sa Philippines, na dapat yung board of directors meron dyan mga independent. Para pag pinag-uusapan na yung kapakanan ng business, hindi na siya manipulate lang ng mga professional managers, yung mga C-suite kung tawagin natin. Ano yung C-suite, guys? C-suite. C-suite, ano yung mga C-suite, guys? Ito yung mga CEO, COO, CIO, CPO, CMO, CKO, CIO, CFO, yung mga ganyan, no? Chief Executive, Chief Operating, Chief Information, Chief People, Chief Marketing, Chief Knowledge, Chief Financial Officers. Okay? Para may control din sa kanila, guys, no? Ito mga C-suite na mga tao. These are the high-ranking officers of the firm. Okay? So I hope guys clear yung yung stake ng mga empleyado sa organization. Okay, we have a few more, guys. So meron tayong creditors, shareholders, suppliers, employees. Sino pa, guys? Sino pa yung mga may mga stake dun sa sa organization? Okay, may nag-chat. Okay, customers, yes. Ada, could you elaborate please? Bakit yung mga customers sila may stake sila sa organization? Why would they want the firm to succeed?
Hello po. That's because customers get their needs or wants within a certain company. So if it succeeds, so that means they will continue making these products na gusto po ng customers.
Yeah, correct. Hindi lang wants, no, pati needs. No? Kunyari, communication. Sino sa inyo gusto na bumagsak si Globe, si Smart o si Dito? Wala naman siguro, guys. Although sometimes their service sucks. We want the services to improve. We want the services, kunyari, gusto natin yung speed ng internet. Gusto natin yung pagbukas natin ng YouTube, tapos ma-download tayo in 10 seconds, just like in Korea, no? Yung speed ng downloading is so fast. Okay, pati din sa ibang developed countries, ang bibilis. Sa Philippines, guys, it will take long. Medyo may politika pa yung ganyang case, no? Pero I'm happy that more players are coming in kasi which actually is another word here, no? Mamaya titingnan natin to kung ano yung sino yan. Babalikan natin yung telecommunications industry na yan. So customers, tayo lahat customers tayo ni Globe, ni Smart, ni Dito. And we would want these companies to succeed. We want these companies to excel. Kasi yung mga sabi nga si Eva ba 'yon? Si Eva ba sorry short-term memory. Bigla ko nakakalimutan kung sino yung Ada pala. Ada. Sabi ni Ada, customers are very interested in the well-being of their organization. That's correct. Kasi customers tayo ng tatlong major players na yan ng telecommunication companies, and we don't want them to fail. Ayaw natin na kunyari internet service providers, whether Globe or Sky or gusto natin na excellent yung service nila. Kasi their failure will be also our failure. Okay, you will not be able to attend our classes online kung palpak yung mga services. Although sometimes, na-experience ko last time, for example, hindi ako nakapag-class kasi pumalpak yung yung service, nag-down yung ISP. No? Okay, so that's it. Important, guys. Salamat, no? Customers are interested in the well-being. Sino pa, guys? Related to that, meron to. Ano kaya to? I mentioned Globe, Smart, and Dito. Nung pumasok, guys, si Dito, may nabasa ako na medyo bumilis daw ng konti yung service ni Globe at saka ni Smart. So ano to, guys?
Competitors po.
Yeah, competitors. In a sense, guys, the competitors, they're interested in the well-being of the firm, no? Okay, just to clarify, merong tayong tinatawag na bad competition at saka may good competition. I'm referring to good competition. Okay, classic case, no? Merong, kunyari, imagine, guys, kunyari nasa industry ka, infant formula, kunyari, so baby's needs, no? Infant formula. So, kunyari may isang company dyan, dun sa industry, na nagloko, tas may linagay palang poisonous na material dun sa infant milk, which caused babies getting sick or babies dying. Naku, scandal yan, guys. Scandal sa industry na yan. You think the other players who are, let's say, well-intentioned, hindi nila ginagawa yun? You think hindi sila ma-affected, guys? If there's one bad apple dun sa industry nyo na nag-cut corners, tapos instead of using a safe ingredient, mas mura tong isang ingredient na to, tapos hindi naman mano-notice, yung pala ang effect, nagkaroon ng effect sa health ng mga babies, yung iba, namatay pa nga, nagkaroon ng deformities. Diba? So what do you think, guys? You think the others who did not do that would also be affected? Paki-chat nga, guys, kung yes or no. Ma-affected ba? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mika. How about the rest? Yes, Hans, thank you. No? Ada, thank you. Okay, the rest, guys, sa tingin nyo, may dissenting opinion ba? How about the rest? Tatlo pa rin nakikita ko, guys. I want to see your idea. Ava, thank you. Ava. 4 out of 30 pa lang. 5. Christian, salamat. No? Christian pala, salamat. Okay. Sana, guys, pag may hinihingi akong feedback, paki-ano lang din, ha? Kasi that also tells me that maybe some of you are not listening or some of you have left your stations, no? Kasi lilima lang yung replies natin, respondents natin dito. May iba pa ba, guys? I'd like to ask. Basti, salamat, no? Okay, Matt, thank you. Iba pa, guys? Mario, thank you. Ken, thank you. Okay. Medyo matagal nga lang yung response, no? Hindi ko lang alam kung sa internet to. Pia, thank you. Okay, so guys, I hope pag next time, pag nagtanong ako doon, ang dami na kagad mag-react, no? I would appreciate that. Okay, yes, definitely, guys. There's such a thing as bad competition and good competition. Ang pinag-uusapan natin dito na competitors, these are the good competitors. So, syempre, technically, gusto ng mga competitors na medyo matalo nila yung iba, no? And that's okay. Kasi it really puts companies on their toes. Hindi sila pwede magpa-petex, no? Si Smart, kung pumalpak yung business yan, kung pumalpak yung service yan, kunyari lagi nagkakaproblema, well, anong mangyayari? Anong mangyayari, guys? Their customer base will transfer to the other provider na mas maganda yung brand ng service. Okay? So that's very important. Competitors are also looking at the well-being of the organization. Okay, ano pa, guys? I think may dalawa pa tayo dito. Yung isa, let's see, it's a G. May G na ba? Wala pa. Tapos yung isa, I think it's a letter C. So ano yung G, guys, dito? G is for, okay, thank you, Eva, thank you, Ada, thank you, Mika, thank you, Basti, thank you, Matt. Yeah, you're correct. government, no? And sorry, ako na lang magdi-discuss kasi we're running out of time. Government kasi guys, of course, revenue generation. Okay, hindi favorable sa isang gobyerno kung may mga sakit yung mga companies dun sa bansang yun. Okay, kasi that means hindi sila makakolekta ng taxes. Okay, a very robust industry, robust players in the industry, robust companies, yun ang gusto ng government. Okay, because that means that the companies are performing well, tapos they'll be able to collect taxes. Alam naman natin, ang taxes are the lifeblood of the government. Paano nila babayaran yung sweldo ng mga government employees? The government is the biggest employer. Kung walang taxes, kung wala silang makukolektang pera, hindi nila mababayaran yung mga government employees. Hindi rin sila makakagawa ng mga projects na kailangan para sa bansang yun. Okay? Kung okay yung mga firms, tumataas yung GDP, GNP, it's also reflective of the government. So may mga political implications din yan. Okay? So for example, malapit na naman ang election. And then it will really redound on how well people perceive this current administration perform. No? That remains to be seen. Makikita natin next election kung gusto pa ba ng mga tao na ituloy yung mga policies of this current administration. We'll see. No? Makikita natin yan come next election. Okay, and last one guys, hindi lang government, ano pa? Ito. Yes. Let's see. Kung pwede guys, paki-unmute na lang para hindi ko nabubuksan hindi ko nagagamit yung mouse ko. CEO of the firm will form part of the employees, no? Yung CEO, kasama siya sa employees. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you, Ada. Okay, yes. Thank you, Ada. Yes, that's correct. CEO is part of the employees. Okay, Mika, you're correct, no? Community, guys. Community. So, Mika, would you like to explain bakit community?
I'm not so sure po.
Sige, ito lang. Guess lang.
I think everyone benefits from the firms because the firms are the ones which provide like the needs and the wants of people.
Yeah, also in people in the community, di ba? Okay, so pwede rin yung community, kailangan nila yung products or services ng firm. Also pwede rin employment, di ba? A good firm would try to tap employment from nearby, from the community, kasi that will also empower the community. Pag empowered yung community, susuportahan nila guys yung company na yun. And the firm can also provide the community with services like medical missions, health missions, training ng mga tao doon. Okay? And of course, also in terms of a good corporate social citizen, by not polluting bodies of water, by not polluting the environment. No? Okay, so interested talaga yung community guys dun sa well-being ng firm. Gusto nila na yung firm na yan, good, responsible, social citizen. No? Na hindi nagpo-pollute ng mga rivers kasi maapektuhan yung livelihood ng mga tao na gumagamit ng river doon. Na hindi nagpo-pollute ng air kasi nakaka-apekto yun sa health ng mga tao na malapit dun sa Okay? So very important yung firm sa community na to. Okay? So because of this what we call stakeholders, no? Kaya ang sinasabi nila na dapat yung shareholder value maximization, this should instead be called stakeholder value maximization. So hindi lang shareholder value maximization, but it should be stakeholder guys, no? Stakeholder value maximization. Okay, of course guys, ang pinaka challenging dito sa stakeholder value maximization is that ang daming objectives na to na kailangan tingnan ng organization and baka hindi nila kaya. Okay? And also, ano mangyayari kung may mga conflicting objectives? Nagko-conflict yung objective ni supplier at saka ni creditor. So how is that addressed? Okay? So in the meantime, guys, we will just say that shareholder value maximization should be the main objective. However, meron tayong qualifier doon na dapat titinan din yung, where possible, tinan din yung yung ibang stakeholders. Okay, but of course, guys, it should never be a license to do things that are against the law. Kunyari, bawal yung ipopollute yung river. Meron tayong mga laws about that. Bawal ipollute yung air. Okay, as good corporate social citizens, the firm should comply and obey this and not pollute the environment. Okay? So, ang tawag dito, guys, stakeholder value maximization. Okay, so let me go back here. Okay, punta tayo, guys, dito. Kindly access this, itong rep track na to. I-Google nga natin to. And let me just point to you that this is a firm na engage siya in, okay, yan, ito yung site na yun, no? It's engaged in measuring the reputation index or reputation intelligence of the firm. No? So si RepTrack, very interesting kasi may tinatawag siyang reputation intelligence. Ang sinasabi niya, in order to maximize shareholder value, dapat maganda yung reputasyon ng ng company. Okay? It should have a very good reputation. So what is reputation intelligence ba? Ang sinasabi na to, that companies must express their purpose. So dapat communicate, no? Kino-communicate ng company yung kanyang strategies and communications that add value to their brands. Okay, so may mga brands ang company, no? Okay, so dapat importante na napakaganda ng brand kasi ang brand can also is a factor for maximizing shareholder value. Okay, so yung brand awareness kung tawagin. So for example, pag binanggit ba natin, for example, yung company na Enron, by the way guys, isa sa magiging first reaction paper is to view the video of Enron, E-N-R-O-N. Okay, pag sinabing Enron, ano yung reputation ng company na yan? Okay, and then you're required to do a reaction paper for that. I'll give you the requirements this coming Thursday. No? Okay. So sinasabi dito, brand awareness, reputation intelligence. Okay, kasi itong mga to daw, guys, it measures the effectiveness of programs over time and develops strategies around business outcomes. Okay, so let's take a look at the benefits now. Benefits of having a reputation intelligence of measuring it. Ito na rin yung bagong CCO imperative. Ano yung CCO? Chief Communication Officer. Okay? So, ang sinasabi dito, importante yung customer perception kasi it determines the brand's value. Reputation intelligence has become a must for leading companies. So, hindi na siya nice to have. No? If you want to be a leading company, then you should be able to measure yung reputation intelligence. I just want to show you something. No? So, this is very, hindi pala. Ito, no? Ito. Let's go here. Dito sa who is it for? Okay. Ito guys, may mention, nakita nyo to, C-suite, no? Although na-mention ko na to kanina, no? In a complex business environment, an increased uncertainty and need for greater transparency, it has raised the demands placed on communications leaders, the ones who are tasked with protecting and building up their company's brands. Okay, so sila, Chief Communication Officer. Sila yung nagsasabi kung ano guys, kung paano pinoposition yung reputation ng organization. Now take a look at this. No? Noong 1975 daw, yung reputation ng company is driven by 83% tangible assets. Ito yung mga assets na nahahawakan. Equipment, machinery, yung building, yung land. 83% daw ng reputation ng market value ng firm is determined by the tangible assets. 17% lang yung intangible assets. Intangible assets are those that cannot be measured. Kunyari, brand value. Okay, yung reputation ng company. Fast forward 2015, guys, gano'n yun. Baliktad na. No? In just a matter of 40 years, no? 40 years lang. Grabe na yung evolution, grabe na yung nabago na. 16% na lang yung nagda-drive ng market value ng firm, ng brand niya. 16% na lang doon yung tangible assets, yung makikita natin. 84% na doon yung intangible, yung brand, yung perception ng mga customers o ng people in general dun sa company na yan. Okay, and sabi nga dito, reputation intelligence benefits the CEO and the C-suite. Ano yung C-suite? Yung binanggit ko kanina, Chief Communications Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, etc. Chief, meron ng Innovation Officer, meron ding Chief Information Officer, meron ding Chief Knowledge Officer, marami ng mga chief na ginagawa sa sa businesses. Let's take a look at the rankings, guys. Sa rankings, okay, tingnan nyo to, Lego yung pinaka number 1. Si Rolex, si Ferrari, okay, si Bosch, Canon, at Adidas, Walt Disney. Okay, tanong ko lang guys, could you think of a company here na napakagrabe yung influence ng brand na to so that people tattoo this brand on their shoulders, on their arms? Okay, ito lang yung brand na makikita mo na tinatattoo ng mga tao. Okay, wala akong nakikitang yung brand na to, yung logo na to, tinatato ng mga tao, Walt Disney sa kanilang mga armas. Anyone guys? Quick guess? Sino yung brand na yun guys? Na grabe yung loyalty ng mga companies, ng mga customers yan. Talagang halos cultic following. Imagine, pinapatato yung name na yan. They take pride really. Nakaano ka, nakaganyan ka. Wow. Anyone guys? Guess? Okay, we're running out of time guys. Sabihin ko na, it's Harley Davidson. Yan. Wala akong nakikitang tao na pinapatato yung logo ng Ferrari sa arms nila o Rolex. No? Ito lang guys. Kung meron man siguro kunyari, I don't know kung Ferrari, no? But I doubt. No? Pero kung meron man konti lang yan, Harley Davidson talaga guys. May mga following yan guys. Talagang pinapatatak nila. Okay? So, why Harley Davidson? It would be interesting to know yung mindset ng mga taong to, no? Kasi they really, yung mga nagmomotor to, di ba, and they really take pride in owning a Harley Davidson. Tapos mga grupo yan minsan. Mga grupo yan. And then, parang kultura na nila. It's a culture of the people there, no? Na pinapatatak nila na parang ina-announce sila, dinideclare nila sa buong mundo na ako ang ginagamit ko, Harley Davidson. Okay? Yun. So, it's really part of their culture. It would be interesting to study bakit ganun yung no? I'm sure meron na nag-aaral niyan kung I haven't gone across a study like that, but I'm sure meron kung bakit yung mga taong to ganun yung kultura nila na pinapatatak nila. No? Okay, so I have a few more minutes. Pakitinan lang guys, sandali itong Interbrand. I-google nyo lang guys, Interbrand. This is another company. Interbrand. I-google nyo Interbrand 2021 guys. Yan, Interbrand 2021. Tapos pakibuksan to. Okay? Pakibuksan to and then let's go to that site. Ito yung site na yan. Okay, best global brands. Interbrand guys measures the value of the brand. Okay, so I'll go down, guys. I'll navigate down. Okay, these are the top companies, no? Matagal na itong Interbrand, no? Ito, Apple. Ang sinasabi ni Interbrand, ang value ng brand ni Apple is 322 billion. Kasi millions tong una, tapos yung second three placeholders would be billion. No? So ang value ng brand ni Apple, hindi yan yung value ng company mismo, ha? Hindi yan yung value ng ng equipment, ng factory. It's just the value of the brand. Imagine guys, ang laki, no? $322 billion. Amazon comes in at second, 200 billion. Yung first four are tech companies. Microsoft at 166. Tapos number 4 si Google. Number 5 si Samsung. Number 6 si Apple dati in the early 2000 guys. Kung titingnan niyo Interbrand no early 2000, lagi number 1 si Apple. Lagi number 1 si Coke pala. Tapos na-overtake na siya. Na-overtake na siya ng mga ibang tech companies. Okay? So I'd like you to view this guys. Tingnan niyo kung ano yung how does Interbrand do that, no? Okay, so let me just simulan ko lang to guys, ha. What is finance? Sabi natin, I'll just end in this slide kasi it's almost time. Okay, Ang finance, sabi natin, it's all about resources, no? Managing resources, allocating resources. And just as an example, kunyari, si Ayala Corporation, siya yung mother company, holding company, or JG Summit, no? JG Summit is John Gokongwei, ito yung mga Rubina companies. So, ito guys, si Ayala Corporation, siya yung magdi-decide kung anong mga magandang investment ipupunta yung pera ni Ayala. So they would invest in what we call SBU, Strategic Business Units. So for example, Ayala is invested in telecommunications, si Globe. It's invested in banks, no? Financial services, si BPI. It's invested in food, no? It's invested in real estate, si Ayala Land. Okay, it's all about resource allocation. That's finance. No? So the finance team of Ayala Corporation decides on this. Ano bang magandang business na tayo papasok? Okay? So that's how important finance is. Kasi it takes a look at resource allocation, resource management, acquisition, and management. So anything related to money, guys. Sabi nga natin, titingnan natin later on yung institutions, instruments, and markets. And we're going to take a look at the transfer of money. Okay? So let me end in that, guys. Pakibasa na lang ibang slides. Okay? I hope you learned something, guys. Okay lang ba yung pace natin? It's already time. So, okay lang ba yung pace natin? Last chat na lang, guys. Kung okay yung, hindi naman ako masyadong mabilis. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's, anong oras na? Tama. Uy, sobra pala ako. Ay, mali itong oras ko. Okay, but I think it's already 12:30. Okay, so let me stop sharing. Stop.